£50,000.
50.
Last letter said 30.
And the one before that, 25.
You didn't tell me there was another one.
I didn't take it seriously. Damn it all, Ada, this is England. People don't go around kidnapping children.
Careful, Mummy, mind the car.
Yes, Mr. Poirot.
It is nearly 11 o'clock. It is important that I have my tisane punctually.
Of course, Mr. Poirot. It's nearly complete, you see. My system.
Ah.
Every one of your cases classified and cross-referenced 5 different ways.
5?
Oh, yes. In this cabinet, names of witnesses. In this, name of perpetrator, if known. Victim's trade or profession. Type of case. Abduction, addiction, adultery, see also under marriage. Bigamy, see also under marriage. Bombs.
See also under marriage?
Mr. Waverly to see you, Mr. Poirot.
Monsieur Waverly.
Good morning. How do you do?
Thank you, Miss Lemon. You may now go back to your filing. Miss Lemon dreams of the perfect filing system, besides which all other filing systems will sink into oblivion. This morning, she is close to the breakthrough. Now, what brings you to consult Hercule Poirot?
They've accepted me.
Accepted?
Le Mans. You remember I was trying to enter the Lagonda? I got the entry form this morning. Not that I can make head or tail of it.
How exciting.
There's another Lagonda entered by Tommy Branston.
Have you done racing before?
No. Well, not really. Who's in with Poirot?
And Mr. Waverly. It's a case.
This morning, I received this.
You have not paid. Your son will be taken from you at 12 o'clock tomorrow, the 29th. It will cost you £50,000 to recover him. 50,000?
Damned impertinence.
But you have £50,000, Monsieur Waverly.
Well, I dare say I might be able to raise it.
I see.
You don't really think they'll do anything, do you?
Mais certainement. I see no reason to doubt it.
Good God.
Please allow me to introduce you to Captain Hastings, an associate of mine. Monsieur Waverly, a client.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Monsieur Waverly has received letters threatening to kidnap his son.
Really? In England? Could be some band of foreigners, you know. Some gang.
These letters give no indication that the writer is a foreigner. Is there anyone you suspect, Monsieur Waverly?
Good God, no.
No one who might bear you the grudge?
Don't think so. No.
Very well. Poirot must himself intercede. Have you shown to Scotland Yard this latest letter?
No, I came straight to you. Didn't seem much point. They didn't seem interested the first time.
No, I understand your feelings, monsieur. But now we have once again to interview the intrepid Chief Inspector Suchet.
I don't want to be away from home too long.
5 minutes, no more, Monsieur Waverly, for me to pack a bag. And then we shall board the next train, having seen the inspector on the way.
Oh, I can drive you down.
No, no, mon ami, I would not dream of imposing on you.
Oh, she could do with a bit of a run.
It is not a dog, Hastings. We'll meet you there this afternoon. Miss Lemon, Captain Hastings and I will be away until tomorrow. Hold the castle.
Chief Inspector Jack can see you now, gentlemen.
Well.
Good morning, Chief Inspector.
This is an unexpected pleasure, Mr. Poirot. Mr. Waverly.
Monsieur Waverly has received another letter.
Oh?
Monsieur Waverly felt that Scotland Yard was not convinced about the seriousness of the case.
So he came to you, eh, Mr. Poirot?
Monsieur Waverly is a man of fine judgment and intelligence. Perhaps this is a serious matter.
You think so, eh?
I think better the safeness than the sorrow, Chief Inspector.
Very true, Mr. Poirot, very true. If you've got unlimited manpower. We see 100 of these every day, Mr. Waverly. If we was to go chasing about after every one...
100, Chief Inspector?
Well, perhaps not 100. Mustn't be too literal, Mr. Poirot.
Every day?
Every week, anyway. This is some disaffected employee, some envious neighbour.
We're wasting our time, Mr. Poirot.
No call to take umbrage, Mr. Waverly.
I'm a simple country squire. I pay my taxes, and I'm used to something in return. Now I know better.
There are a lot of taxpayers, Mr. Waverly. There are even quite a lot of country squires. If we was to...
You're not only uncooperative, sir. You're damned offensive.
As you so rightly point out, you were paying me to exercise my judgment and discretion as to what is a serious threat to public order and what is not. And this is not.
Your superior shall hear of this.
I hope he enjoys it as much as I have.
That policeman's a fool.
Ah, no. Jap is a good policeman. Prevention of crime is not what policemen are best at. They would need to have one constable for every citizen and go everywhere with him. But fortunately for the human race, most of us have our own little policeman up here. But this kidnapper has perhaps no little policeman.
This is the new house, built by an ancestor of mine in 1760, when the old manor was destroyed by fire.
And you are adding to your kinsman's great work?
No, we embarked on a program of restoration about 5 years ago. We've had to stop for a bit, but I hope we can get going again soon. There have been Waverleys in these parts for 400 years.
400? And this land around here is all yours?
Not anymore. Used to be, as far as you could see from the roof. But not anymore.
Marcus, you're back.
Ada, this is Mr. Hercules Poirot.
Enchanté, madame. Hercule.
What?
Not Hercules, but Hercule.
Oh, quite. A famous detective.
I know.
I'm so glad you're here, Mr. Poirot. We didn't know where to turn. The police will apparently do nothing. One is forced to pay for peace of mind out of one's own pocket. But Captain Hastings has told me your charges are quite reasonable.
Indeed.
Oh, well, I didn't specify, of course, just in general terms.
Ah. You have got here with alacrity, my friend.
75 minutes, door to door. Touched 80 on the hog's back.
Captain Hastings is besotted by cars.
He was kind enough to tell me about the 24-hour race he's going in for.
We have serious business here, Hastings. Let us not lose sight of this.
Oh. Oh, the kidnapping business, you mean? Yes, I had a word with Mrs. Waverly about that. I don't think there's too much to worry about. Work of a crank, those letters, I'd say.
That's very reassuring, Hastings. Thank you. But we must not try to walk before we can jump, eh? I will see the house now, Monsieur Waverly.
By all means. Well, this is the sitting room. Opens out onto the terrace, through the French windows, there.
Oh. And this is the south side of the house, yes?
Exactly.
And this room is communicating?
With the library.
Ah. Bon.
Thank you, Mr. Poirot. Thank you.
All will be well, madame. Kidnapping is an easy job, mon ami.
Easy?
Mais certainement. That child could have been abducted at any time since its birth. Well, 4 years ago?
Well, I don't see that advances as much.
Au contraire, it advances us enormously, but enormously. We must ask ourselves why they make things difficult by warning the Waverlys. No, some cases are simple and some are very complicated. But all are of interest, eh? Because all, you understand, rests solely on the character of the participants.
Certainly. Forgive me. It's difficult to make casual conversation when tomorrow we may...
He's ready for bed now, Mrs. Waverly. Say goodnight, Johnny.
Ah, so this is the famous Johnnie Waverly.
Good night, old chap.
I can't.
I say, that's rather fine.
You see, Hastings? A fellow enthusiast.
Come and tuck me up, Mummy.
I'll come up in a minute, darling. Thank you, Mrs. Withers.
Good night.
Good night.
Darling? Come on, darling. It'll be all right.
Certainly, it will be all right, madame. At noon tomorrow, Johnnie will be surrounded by his friend, by his mother, his father, Hastings, by Poirot. No one will kidnap Johnnie Waverly.
Mrs. Waverly. She's been taken ill. Suddenly woke up with dreadful cramps. Doctor's with her now.
Cramps?
Must be something she's eaten.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry if we woke you.
Bonjour, mon ami. You slept well?
Fine.
Excellent. And now we enjoy the famous English breakfast.
Well, you may.
What are you having, Hastings?
Well, I think it's kedgeree. Certainly rice. Can't find anything else in it.
But, Hastings, where is this famous English breakfast?
Well, didn't you notice at dinner last night? Just one potato each, not a big one. One cutlet.
Oh, mais oui, but from an English dinner one expects no more. But breakfast?
I wonder if they're not short of money, you know. The fire wasn't lit in my room last night.
Well, get them here. Now. This instant.
Every man jack of them, Treadwell.
Very good, sir.
Oh, good morning.
Bonjour, Monsieur Waverly. And how is Madame Waverly this morning?
She's still weak. She won't be able to get up today.
Ah.
But there's worse. Look at this. In my own bedroom. I went for my bath. I wasn't more than 10 minutes. When I got back, there it was, pinned to my pillow.
Just 3 words at 12 o'clock.
The nerve of the fellow.
Precisely. There's a traitor somewhere. Someone on my staff. Well, I know a trick worth 2 of that.
What are you going to do?
Sack them. Sack the lot of them. Unless one of them owns up, of course. Treadwell will stay, of course. He's been here since I was a boy. And Miss Collins.
I'm sorry, Miss Collins?
My wife's secretary. Nothing wrong with her. My God. I can't abide a traitor.
The staff are assembled, Mr. Waverly.
Thank you, Treadwell.
Monsieur Waverly, I ask you to reconsider. The emptier a house is, the easier it will be for a miscreant to move about unseen.
Nonsense. Mr. Poirot, you stick to your job, and I shall stick to mine. Then we shan't fall out.
But to empty a house a few hours before the threatened abduction seems to me to be the height of folly.
How dare you, sir? You call me a fool? I'm doing what I consider best for the defense of my son. Allow me to be the judge of that.
I cannot prevent you, monsieur.
Quite.
He is stubborn, that one, Hastings. Mon Dieu, wonders will never stop. The Chief Inspector Suchet.
Line up in a straight line.
A change of heart, Chief Inspector?
Yes, you might say that, Mr. Poirot.
Come on,
Or you might say I don't want to see some poor amateur get himself in a fix.
Ah, you are too kind, Chief Inspector Suchet. Your great heart will be your downfall.
True, true. Now then, where's the simple country squire?
You'll find him in the hall, sacking all his stuff.
Oh dear. Got out of bed the wrong side, did he?
Perhaps. Bonne chance.
One of you is responsible. I expect an answer. Well, I'm waiting.
Not too fast, mind.
Don't worry, I won't go over 18.
Kilometers?
Miles?
Whatever happens, Hastings, it must be back before 12.
I will not be treated in this manner.
There is nothing more to be said, Mrs. Withers.
There is a great deal more to be said, Mr. Waverly. I will
You
not...
may pack your bag and collect a week's wages from Miss Collins.
And what am I supposed to tell Johnnie?
You will say nothing to him. He is in Miss Collins' care for the moment. You may go, Mrs. Withers. What are you doing here?
Morning, Mr. Waverly. I've brought some men down with me. I'll disperse them around the house, if that's agreeable to you, sir.
You were doing the building work up at Waverly, were you?
Will be again soon. So he keeps telling me, Ted. I'll believe it when I see it.
I don't reckon she cares about the house, that sort of thing.
Really?
No. The whole place could fall down as far as she's concerned. She's the one with the money. Though you'd never know it, the way she carries on. Ted?
Right, one man at the head of the path that leads to the stables there.
Right, Beecham, at the head of the stables.
Sir? One man by the main door, of course.
Osborne by the front door.
Yes, Sergeant. Two on the perimeter.
George Smith.
Yes, sir. And a couple here by the...
Servants' quarters? That's it.
And scrambled eggs, was it?
Certainement. And the little sausages.
Oh, yes, sir.
Deviled kidneys?
Kidneys, yes. What about bacon?
Crisp.
Of course. And tea? Or a nice pint of home brew?
Beer? For breakfast?
2 pints, please.
But Hastings, we've got to be back before 12.
Plenty of time.
Right you are, gentlemen.
What an admirable young woman. So, Hastings, the renovations at Waverly Court will continue.
I didn't trust that builder, you know, Poirot. Seems to me he resents the Waverlys.
Perhaps.
Two men went to mow a meadow.
Two men went to mow a meadow.
Two men, one man and his dog went to mow a meadow.
Two men, one man and his dog went to mow a meadow.
Three men went to mow a meadow.
Three men, two men, one man and his dog went to mow a meadow.
Good. Four men went to mow a meadow. Four men, three men. Four men, three men.
Johnnie'll be in here with me, with perhaps you here by the windows.
Good.
And Poirot guarding the door into the hall.
I don't know about that, sir. If there was to be any rough stuff, I don't know as Mr. Poirot would be the first person I'd think of. Brain work, yes. Rough stuff, dubious.
What about his colleague, Hastings?
That'd be more like it, sir.
Do you know what I think? I think someone's tampered with this.
Someone's tampered with this to keep us out of the way.
How would they have known we were going to use the car?
Ah.
Carefully. Gently now, Johnnie. Stroke her gently.
She likes it.
She likes you.
How are you feeling now, darling?
Oh, I feel heaps better. Must have been something I ate.
Well, you just stay in bed and rest. I'm going to take Johnnie down with me now.
Why can't he stay?
Well, he'll be happier downstairs. Miss Collins can stay with you.
Bye-bye, darling.
Come on, up you come.
Sure you don't need me?
No, you keep Mrs. Waverly company. Just for half an hour.
Bye.
Well, it's not the carburetor, anyway.
This is not what I long to hear, Hastings.
Eh?
I want to hear what it was, not what it was not. Better still, I want to hear the motor.
And 2 blasts on the whistle if anyone's apprehended.
Right, sir.
The men all in position?
Yes, sir.
Where the hell is Poirot?
They went out in the car, sir, just as I was arriving. Right, Sergeant, keep the men on their toes. Sir?
In the car? Do you know where they were going?
They didn't confide in me, sir, I'm afraid.
Hmm.
We've got it. Sneaking through the bushes. He's got the whole dope outfit on him.
Look at this, sir.
Do you know this man, sir?
Never set eyes on him.
Here's a pretty parcel, if you like. Bottle of chloroform, cotton wool pad, and a letter addressed to you, Mr. Waverly.
I don't know anything about this. I was given that to deliver.
Who by?
By a gentleman I met on the road.
You should have paid up. To ransom your son will now cost you 70,000. In spite of all your precautions, he has been abducted at 12 o'clock on the 29th, as I said. I should have paid up, should I? You think you could... Johnny.
O'clock.
Come on, you. Get him over, come on. Yeah,
the agony.
Are you going to do something, or are you not?
When the time comes to act, Poirot will act. A pleasing little problem, huh? Obscure and charming. Someone fools us all simply by putting the clock forward 10 minutes.
Pleasing? Charming? My child has been kidnapped.
Oui, madame, but he is safe. Rest assured those miscreants will take the greatest care of him. Is he not to them the goose that lays the golden eggs?
Nobody's seen hiding a hair of that car. I've given the Surrey police a full description, but he'll probably switch cars as soon as he can, or go to Earth somewhere.
What about the ruffian you caught?
Name's Joe Rogers, so he says. He's sticking to his story anyhow.
Perhaps Poirot can move him.
With all due respect, Mr. Poirot, if my lads can't shift him...
Poirot shall act. Ah! Captain Hastings, the voiture. It is recovered?
Damn thing was out of petrol. The gauge is stuck at full.
Come, we have work to do. The boy's gone.
I know, one of the bobbies told me.
Bonjour, Monsieur Rogers.
Yeah.
He's saying good day, you ignorant man.
I would like you, please, to tell me your story again, monsieur. How you came into possession of the package.
Well, I told him all that.
Tell me.
Well, this geezer gave it to me, didn't he?
Did he?
Well, I just told you.
And what did he say, this geezer?
He said I was to take the package and to deliver it to the big house. At the side door, he said. Well, he gave me a 10-bob note, he did. He said I was to deliver it at 10 to 12, spot on.
And what time did you meet him? Do you know?
Yeah, I do as it happens. It was 10:15.
And can you describe him?
Well, there was something queer about him. He wasn't tall, well, no taller nor me, and he wore a tash.
Tash?
Moustache.
And he was all dressed up in a sort of grey uniform, with leggings and a cap.
Like a chauffeur, you mean?
How old a man was he?
Oh, I don't know. It's funny, though. His voice was queer, too. You know what? You know that fella running round here in a monkey suit? The toffee-nosed one?
The toffee-nosed monkey suit?
You know, is he the butler or something? Anyway, if he was to have a son, that's just what this geezer would have looked like.
Like Monsieur Treadwell's son?
Don't get excited, Mr. Poirot. Mr. Treadwell was with Mr. Waverly every minute between 10 o'clock and past. I got that from Mr. Waverly already.
But has Monsieur Treadwell got a son? Well, some other explanation will present itself. Thank you, Monsieur Japp. You have been most helpful. And you, Monsieur Rogers.
Oh, well, thanks very much.
Never you mind about that, my lad. I'm taking you down the local lockup.
What's the charge?
Vagrancy.
But you can't do that. I've got 10 bob in my pocket.
Tell the magistrate all about it. Come on, lads. I'm going back to London to organise a search there.
The answer is here, my friend, not in London.
That's as may be, Mr. Poirot. But the boys in London, I'll lay odds on that. Good day to you.
Monsieur Treadwell, come in. Come in and sit down.
I would prefer to stand, sir, if it's all the same to you.
By all means. You have worked here for many years, huh?
30 years, sir. I came as an underfootman. Of course, there was a much larger staff in those days.
I see. So if anyone knows the family secrets, it would be you, n'est-ce pas?
I'm sure, sir, there are no secrets in the Waverly family.
Of course not.
Mr. Waverly is the most upright of men. He and his father before him.
Of course. And Madame Waverly? A happy marriage, huh?
I'm sure, sir, Mrs. Waverly is a fine woman. Of course, she has made changes. This is not the sort of establishment that she was brought up to, for all her money.
Quite.
But, well, I think she's beginning to appreciate the Waverly way.
Miss Collins, can I ask you about the boy's nurse?
She'd only been here for about 6 months.
Was she trustworthy?
Eminently, I should have thought. And she'd left the house by the time of the kidnapping anyway.
Quite so, quite so. She may have had accomplices inside the house. Was there anyone she was particularly friendly with? Anyone on the staff?
I'm sure I couldn't say. I don't listen to tittle-tattle from below stairs, I'm afraid.
Oh, no, quite. I didn't suggest.
Oh, excuse me, I did not know you were still in here.
No, that's fine. We were just about finished. Eh, Miss Collins?
You're sure?
Oh, yes, thank you.
Merci, mademoiselle. Anything?
What about you?
Oh, I learned a lot from Monsieur Treadwell.
And?
There is one thing I do not understand.
I don't understand any of it.
No, mon ami, it is simple. Huh? But for the one thing. Here is the child, huh? Here, in this room. Guarded by his father and the Inspector Japp. Now the false alarm is raised, and the Inspector and Waverly foolishly rush out, leaving the child undefended, yes?
Yes.
Bon. Now the kidnapper comes in and takes away the child? Where?
What do you mean, where?
Well, they cannot go out this way. Waverly and the inspector have just gone, and there is still a policeman standing not 20 meters away. This way. Yes. But to what end? The front of the house has a policeman outside the door. The back door, likewise. Now, that side of the house is where Rogers has been caught, and excitement reigns. A problem, huh?
I see what you mean.
The tunnel.
Comment?
The tunnel.
What tunnel?
A lot of Catholic houses used to have priest holes. Places where the priests used to escape to, if the king's men came looking for them.
Where is it, this tunnel? Where does this lead?
It comes out of the mausoleum, about half a mile away.
I need a lampe de poche. What is that, a lamp of the pocket?
A torch?
Torch.
Oh, I've got one in the car.
Bon. Who would know of the existence of this, Monsieur Waverly?
Not easy to say. A few people who've visited the house, I suppose. But mainly just family.
I see. Servants?
One or two of them, I suppose.
Miss Collins?
Oh, no, I'm sure not.
Treadwell?
Oh, he's bound to, I suppose. He's been with us so long.
And the child's nurse? Mrs. Withers?
I wouldn't have thought so, no.
Here we are, one each.
Good. Come, Captain Hastings, we embark on a voyage into darkness.
I'll come with you.
No. Captain Hastings and I must go alone.
There's some steps going down.
Forward, mon brave. Tell me, what do you make of this case?
You don't expect me to think in the dark, do you?
Ah, Hastings, the little grey cells, sometimes they work even better in the dark. But always we come back to the same question. Why would anyone warn the Waverlys before they kidnap the child?
I suppose they hope to get the money without actually being forced to do it.
But this does not alter the fact that they were making a thing difficult that was perfectly easy. If they do not specify a time or date, nothing would be easier. For them to wait their chance, carry off the child in a motor one day when he is out with his nurse.
I suppose so. I can see a light up ahead.
Good. I'm bored with this tunnel. Very sweet. Very nice. See, the car could be waiting here, well away from the house. The child could be brought through the tunnel to the car. The driver makes the getaway hooting as he passes inside of the house. It is a farce. Nothing more. Everything goes to show that there was an accomplice inside the house. The mysterious poisoning of Madame Waverly.
Poisoning?
Ah, my poor Hastings. So innocent. But no. It is nice. But surely you cannot imagine it was by accident that Madame Waverly was conveniently kept out of the way on the day of the kidnapping?
Good God.
Point number 2. Someone in the house must have pinned the final note to Monsieur Waverly's pillow.
Yes, I see that.
Point number 3. The putting on of the clock 10 minutes. Huh? All inside jobs. Now, we have 4 people inside the house. Madame Waverly and Miss Collins, we can exclude. The one is, how you say, elite? Huh? Bedridden, yes? The other, Miss Collins, is with her.
Well, that only leaves Mr. Waverly and Treadwell.
So it does. Hastings, I've had enough of this case. There is a train to London in 40 minutes.
Well, I'll drive you to London.
No, Hastings. I take the train.
Ah.
Where are you going?
Oh, Captain Hastings is being kind enough to drive me to the station. Thence I shall proceed to London.
But the case. My son. You haven't done anything.
But I have done everything, monsieur.
Then where is he?
I will give you the address.
It's a blank sheet.
Because I am waiting for you to write it down for me. You will take Captain Hastings and me to the boy now. If you do not, Madame Waverly will be informed of the exact sequence of events that made up this dastardly crime.
He's all right. He's well cared for.
Of that I have no doubt.
Jesse?
Johnnie's nurse. Of course. You are Mr. Treadwell's daughter?
Niece.
Your ingenuity will be equal to the task of explaining the boy's reappearance. If I did not believe you to be a good father at heart, I would not be so willing to give you another chance.
I'll do anything to avoid a scandal.
Precisely. Appearances are what matter, eh? That was why it was intolerable that your wife should call a halt to the restoration work on the house. Having a rich wife is not the same as being rich oneself, monsieur.
Don't worry. I've learnt my lesson.
Good. Your name is an old and honored one. Do not jeopardize it again. I shall be sending you my bill. Drive, Captain Hastings.
Won't you let me into the secret? How did you know?
It was obvious. Who sends away the servants, can write the notes, who can drag his wife, who can put the hands of the clock forward, who can establish an alibi for his faithful retainer, Treadwell. Treadwell has never liked his mistress, Mrs. Waverly, but he is devoted to his master. There were three of them in it. Waverly, Treadwell, and his niece, Jessie Withers, who gets herself sacked as noisily as possible so that she can arrange the decoy Rogers, pick up the boy from the mausoleum, and drive him away to the little cottage in the woods. It was apparent, Hastings. I shall see you in London.
Why won't you let me drive you?
Hastings, the train has one advantage over the car. He does not often run out of coal.